Hey YouTube, this is tutorial 4 of our HTML5 game development series, and last time we left off we were going to move on to the next thing, but actually I think you guys maybe saw that I typed in width 1000 pixels there. You guys don't need that. I put that, I was just checking something, but we don't need it there, so all we need is this, and all we need is this. Now both of these are on my minus profile. If we go in here, go to minus, go to profile. They're under HTML5 game development. And actually, I need to add the JavaScript one, but our index, this basic index, is the exact same as this, I believe. I'll make sure it is. Anyways, whenever we do a new tutorial, just check back in this minus folder. I'll put the link in the description always too. But check back in this folder and we'll see, and you can see if there's a new file or not. Ignore that. Anyways, let's go in here, and actually we kind of need to change some stuff. I kind of done some testing, and we want to actually, you guys are maybe going to hate me, but we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this, and all we need, this line up here. Get element by ID, enter, da. Now this stuff, if you guys remember, will go right in between these two tags. So just like that, that's perfect. Now, if we go back here and we refresh, the canvas is still there. If we inspect the element, it still shows up perfectly, right? The DVD, or the div, sorry I keep saying DVD, I don't know why, but div, canvas in here, perfect. So we can exit this, go back here, good. Now, we actually did that, and next part we're going to do for this tutorial basically is some canvas basics and how to do certain things. Now, some of the stuff I'm going to be teaching you in this tutorial isn't necessary for game development. You can use it though, and it may be helpful, but I'm just going to go over how to do certain things with the canvas and how to clear the canvas, because you'll see why we need to do certain things to make a game. So, to get started, sorry about the other code that I had before, but this is all we need. I'll make sure I put this on my minus profile. And let's go back in here. Right before the starting of the canvas tag, we need to put a new tag. Kind of doing it backwards, but that's the end tag. We need a button tag. And in between, let's just put clear canvas. Yeah. Okay. Now we need a type attribute, and the type is button. That's just what we need. And we also need an ID attribute. And the ID, let's keep it simple, so let's do clear canvas BTN. Now BTN stands for button, and that's just to help us know that this clear canvas thing is actually a button. And we can, if we know that, then we know to look in our HTML file for a clear canvas button if we ever need to do problem solving or find an error. But anyways, let's go to this line now. Now, since we did that, we'll get back to this in a second, but next up we need to create a variable by doing var canvas. Now we're going to do canvas bg. This is going to be the variable name that we're going to be using, and this is the ID of the canvas basically. If we keep canvas bg and canvas bg the exact same, it's so simple to just know where it comes from and just know what it is exactly. So canvas bg, then we need to reference the document to get it. So document.get element by ID. Oh, I keep putting that ID. Okay, quotes. Inside here we need the ID of the canvas, which is canvas bg. Perfect, just like that. So this is we're referencing this variable, telling it to get the ID of canvas bg, so that whatever we do to this canvas will happen to this canvas right here. Good. Next line, we need to describe another variable, and this time it's going to be ctx bg. Now, the ctx stands for context, and basically the canvas, each canvas has one context to it. So the context is how we draw, is how we manipulate the canvas. We have to do everything to the context actually. We only use this about once in our program, which you'll see is coming up right here. Canvas bg dot get context. Whoa, context. Now get context, we want to get the context as 2D. Now, I didn't quite finish, but the context basically is how we manipulate the canvas. We're going to name it context BG just in case we have another canvas eventually. Later on maybe, but BG, we know they go together. That's the easiest way to say it, I guess. And basically we're referencing canvas BG, which is this, and we're telling it to get the context of this canvas, and we're going to put it in 2 dimensions, or 2D. Now, 2D, that could be 3D in here, I think, or something like that, but we're going to be making a 2D game. If we made a 3D game, it's very, very tough, I would say, at this point in time, because the certain standards aren't, I don't know, ready for it or something. But maybe later in the future we could make a 3D game, but for this tutorial series, 2D is the easiest, and I would say actually is pretty fun. It's the funnest way to do a game so far that I know of for HTML5 game development. Anyways, so this line is done. Again, guys, you could rename these variables whatever you want, but if you rename this to something like hello, you'd have to rename this to something like hello. They have to be the exact same. That's just naming variables and the basics of that. But anyways, next line. We need to make a new variable, and we need to reference the button this time. Let's just go back in here. If we go here, whoa. Okay, backspace this part. Good. Go back in here. Now, do you see how we have a button up here? It doesn't do anything. This is this button, right? By the way, button ID, clear canvas, button, clear canvas. This is the clear canvas button. Right now it doesn't do anything when we click it. That's because we haven't told it to do anything. And that's what we're going to do next. So var clear canvas btn, that's what I'm naming this variable. And let's do document dot get element by ID. Good. And we want to get the ID of this canvas button, which is right here, clear canvas button. So I'm just going to copy that because I'm kind of lazy. Good, right in there, clear canvas button. Okay, and let's go to the next line. After that, we need, so since we referenced that now, what we need to do is now add an event listener like we had before, but this one's going to be a bit different. First of all, we need to tell the clear canvas button, which is this variable, we need to tell that to add an event listener. And we need 2 brackets. And inside here, if you guys remember, we had load before. We don't want load for this. When the button is clicked, clicked. All you put is click though. But when the button gets clicked, we will tell it to do a certain function in here. Don't put that though. And fun. We'll leave it at that. And then we will put false. Remember, guys, we need false for this last parameter here. But you can click we also need, but this can be whatever we name our function. So let's just take out fun for a second, leave it at that. Now, basically, when we press this clear canvas button, when we click it, it's gonna call a function. And that function we're gonna name down here. Function clear canvas. I guess we'll name it that because it keeps it simple. So clear canvas. That means when we click clear canvas button, which is this button, when we click it, it's going to call clear canvas the function, which is this right here. Again, you can name this stuff whatever you want, but they have to be exactly the same. Okay, so the clear canvas, this is a function we're going to be using later, so we're just going to skip that for now. We do need this though. It's one of the most important things, I would say. But let's leave it at that for a second. And next, we're going to do another function. First of all, we have to add another button though. So the clear canvas button is right here. Let's just copy that. Let's paste it in. And let's, instead of this, we're going to put draw square. Whoops, draw square. Button, type is still button. And instead of clear canvas button, we want draw, square button. So just like we did with the clear canvas part, we need to go like this. Go like this. Copy that, paste it down here. Now let's just put a space or a line in between. Okay, clear canvas. Instead of that, we need draw square button. Draw square button. And exactly the same here. Draw square. And exactly the same here. Draw square button. Okay, now basically we just named a new variable, draw square button. It's getting the ID of this button right here. The ID is draw square button. Draw square button. Draw square button dot add event listener. So we're adding an event to it just like this clear canvas button. When we click this button, it's not going to do clear canvas. It's going to do a different function that we're going to name right now. So function, let's do draw square. Again, let's keep things simple. And that's probably the best way to keep things simple is to say what it does, or say what it is, I mean, and just so we know what it is. So this time, draw square. That's the function name, which is the exact same as this. And this is where the fun stuff kind of begins. Okay, so the next part we need is CTX. Like I said, CTX, the context, is where we do all of our manipulations to the canvas. First off, we want to start with fill style. Now, you will see what this does in a couple moments. We need two quotes in here, hash symbol, and let's do 50, 50, 50. Now, fill style, this basically sets the color of the inside of a square. So when we draw a square, which will be coming up next, the color of the square will be this color, which is like a type of gray. I just know it, but it's a type of gray. Okay, so CTX BG dot. This time we want to do fill rect. Now, I keep saying draw a square, but we're actually drawing a rectangle. So maybe I should have thought about that before I did that. But anyways, fill rect. Basically, fill rect will draw a rectangle on our canvas, but it will be filled in with this color. You'll see in another one what we'll have to do for, yeah, you'll see how it changes. Anyway, ctxbg.fillRect. Now, inside the fill rect, we are going to put, we need 4 numbers. Okay, the first 2 numbers are the coordinates, which I will talk about in a second. And this is the width, and this is the height of the rectangle. Now, like I said, these are 2 coordinate numbers. This is the x coordinate, and this is the y coordinate. Now, a thing we have to keep in mind is that when working with the canvas, everything on the canvas is described in coordinates pretty much. So if you guys know math, hopefully you do, coordinates are basically x and y. So this is the x-axis, the horizontal, and this is the y-axis, which is the vertical. And coordinate basically is in the form of x, y. Basically, that's the normal formula for doing a coordinate. But let's go back in here. And a canvas, you have to remember that the value for a coordinate increases going down along the y-axis and increases going right along the x-axis. That means that this top left corner, if I put my mouse right up there, that coordinate would be x equals 0, y equals 0. So yeah, that's the coordinate 0, 0. Now if my mouse was here, the coordinates would be something like, and my mouse was here, the coordinates would be something like x equals 150, y equals 50. So see how it increases as I move my mouse down and increases to the right. That means that this corner will be x equals 800 and y equals 500. Now the reason it's like that is because our canvas up here is actually has a width of 800 pixels and a height of 500 pixels. That means that the y goes from 0 to 500 and the x goes from 0 to 800. You just have to keep that in mind. We're going to be using coordinates a lot. That's how you make a game with HTML5 canvas. And you just have to remember that y coordinates go from 0 and increase going down. X coordinates go from 0 and increase going to the right. Okay, so let's go back here, and since we did that, let's just start off with making our x coordinate 20, and our y coordinates 100, just so we know the difference very easily. So like, I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is the x and the y coordinate. This means that this rectangle, the top left corner, will start at these coordinates. Now let's set the width. Let's set the width to 200, oh, not 2000, 200, and let's set the height to 50. Oh, not 500. Whoops. Okay, so the width is going to be 200. The height is going to be 50. Let's go back in here, and let's refresh this, and then let's actually press draw a square up here. We have another problem. Oh, listener. We spelled listener wrong. That's my fault. Make sure you get that E in there. It'll be in the JavaScript file, my minus profile anyways, but just make sure. Okay, refresh. Get rid of this. Draw square. Another error. Huh. Oh, I did it twice, that's why. Listener up here. There we go. Should be good now. Let's hope. Exit this. Draw square. Look at this. It's not actually a square, like I said. It's a rectangle. But just look at this. Our x-coordinate is 20, and our y-coordinate is 100. That's where the rectangle starts, just like we described in here. 20, 100. Start at x20, start at y100. That's the coordinate. Now, the width is 200 pixels, so it goes from x equals 20 to x equals 220, because you have to do 200 in here. If that makes sense, hopefully it does. Because we start at x20, that means this coordinate will actually be x220, y100. Because x started at 20 and we made the width of the rectangle 200. So 200 plus 20 is 220. The y started at 100, and the height of this rectangle is 50. So same thing, just like the x thing, or the x is 220, y equals 100. This would be y equals 150, x equals 20, because the y started at 100 and went down 50. So this would be the coordinate for this bottom left corner. Anyway, so that's how you draw a rectangle. Now, we can keep pressing this, and it'll keep drawing a rectangle. We won't notice it, though, because it's still drawing in the same place. We actually want to get rid of this rectangle somehow, because we don't want it to be there forever. What kind of game has a rectangle in the same place for the whole game? And like I said, we probably won't be even using this for our game, but this is just Canvas basics. Okay, so just like our draw square function, when we press draw square button, this button right here, it called draw square, which is this function, and it did this. Now, we need our clear canvas button to call clear canvas, which is this. Now, to clear the canvas, what we have to do is type in ctx bg, and next we have to do dot clear rect, 2 brackets and a semicolon. Now, just like we have fill rect up here, that's going to fill a rectangle. Down here, clear rectangle. This is going to clear a rectangle. So basically, we also need 4 numbers down here. This is the start of the rectangle that we want to clear, and this is the width and height of a rectangle. Let's actually set this to 20. Let's do 100x and 120y. And let's do a width of 20 and a height of 30. Okay, so basically, let's just go and show it, I guess. Best way to do it. You have to refresh and then press draw square. Now, when we press clear canvas, it's going to take away a rectangle. It's going to clear a rectangle that starts at x equals 100, so somewhere in here, and y equals 120, so somewhere around here probably. It's going to clear a rectangle. The width is going to be about 20, and the height is going to be about 30. So we'll see in here, clear canvas. Oh, right there. That's where it happened. So basically, the clear rectangle, it started at x equals 100, y equals 120, and the height is 20. Or I mean the width is 20, so it's going to go over to plus 20 and down plus 30. If we change this to plus 20 instead of 30, we refresh. Look at this, a little white square inside a rectangle. This is actually see-through. It's not the same. It's not the same as this. It's see-through. It is actually this, but yeah. So basically, if you had a rectangle that was partly hidden behind this, you could see it through this little rectangle because it's cleared. I believe. Yeah. Okay, so that's how you clear a rectangle. Now, say we want to clear our whole canvas, which is the ideal thing to do. We don't want to clear just this little spot. We want to clear the whole canvas. So let's go back down here, and let's start at x equals 0 and y equals 0. This will start our canvas at 0, 0 up here. Now, we want the width to be the width of our canvas, which is 800. So let's go back here. Let's type in 800. And for this, let's type in 500 because that's the height of our canvas. That basically will clear our whole canvas starting at 0, 0 all the way down to x equals 800 and y equals 500. That means our whole canvas will be cleared. So if we do refresh, draw a square, and let's see what happens. Clear canvas. Bam. Our whole canvas is cleared. Now, it may not look like it because we only had one little square right here. And as you can see, if you press draw a square again, it'll do it all over again. So draw a square. Yeah, it's hard to tell right now because we only have one little rectangle here. But let's actually change this rectangle to draw something that is... Well, let's just do 600 width, 600 height. Now, this will go outside of our canvas bounds. Another thing you have to watch out for, if you draw something outside of the canvas bounds, you obviously won't be able to see it because this is our canvas boundary right here. So let's refresh, and let's press draw square, and look at that. It is outside our canvas bounds, but basically it has a width of 600 and a height of 600, starting again at x equals 20 and y equals 100. Now, when we press clear canvas, look at that. Still clears our whole canvas because our clear canvas starts at 0, 0, which is this, and goes 800 to the right and 500 down. Okay, so that's the basics of drawing on the canvas. We probably won't even be using this stuff, but I just wanted to show you guys how you draw something and how you clear it. We will be using this step though. This is one of the most important functions, I would say, because you have to clear the canvas in order to draw something new on it. And we will go through all that in the rest of this game development series. But so yeah, guys, this is the basics of drawing to the canvas. If you guys want more help, feel free to send me a message or leave a comment on the video. And remember, guys, I'll put all the links to these files in our in my minus folder. And actually, my internet turned off. Why? For some reason, my internet went down. Let's try again. Okay, it's back on. Let's go back up here. Da 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 da. Okay, profile. If you guys can't notice, my voice is getting really dry and really sore, so it's about to be finished for this tutorial. So yeah, guys, remember, I'll give the link in the description for these files. And all you have to do is copy this stuff and basically just paste it in your files if you want to update them. And also a quick tip, this says index.html. I'm probably going to put index tutorial 1 through 3, and then I'll upload a new index file that says index will be named index tutorial 4 or something like that, just so you guys can keep up and go back if you have any problems. So yeah, guys, so stay tuned for tutorial number 5, and hopefully you like this. If you want, yeah, press the like button, it'll help me out. And also feel free to comment, rate, whatever, or I don't know, there's not even rating anymore. Yeah, just press the like button if you like it. Anyways, guys, thanks, and if you want, also subscribe. See you guys next time. Oh, also, one more thing. If you guys have any game ideas, just post a comment or send me a message even. But we need to create some game for this series. So I have some ideas. I don't know how good they are. I'm probably thinking something like a little jet game where a little jet shoots little bullets or something and you have to kill other or destroy other jets. But if you guys have any game ideas, just leave a description and or leave a comment and we'll see how it goes. All right, thanks guys.